Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Our distinguished keynote speakers, honorable invited guests, respected Chancellor of Universitas Juanda, dear lecturers, presenter, participants, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and warm greetings to all of you, especially for our distinguished keynote speakers, Professor Dr. Nurul Hilal bin MD Dahlan from University Utara, Malaysia, Associate Professor Dr. Abdul Karim Esamadi Obaidi, School of Engineering, Taylor's University, Malaysia, Associate Professor Dr. Yudi Wahyudin SPI MSI Universitas Juanda, Indonesia, Profesor Dr. Eng Asep Bayudani Nandianto, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia and Hiroshima University, Japan, Dr. Ravinder Rena, School of Business, Woxen University, Hyderabad, India, Professor Dr. Dimitrios Marinos Demetrius, University of Thrace, Greece, Professor Dr. Naim Demirel, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, University, Turkey. On behalf of the organizing committee, it is my great honor and pleasure to welcome you to the 9th International Conference on Applied Science and Social Science, hosted by Universitas Juanda Bogor and our co-host Universitas Sunan Derajat, Indonesia. This year's conference carries the themes Converging Knowledge for Sustainable Future, Leading Transformative Change through Interdisciplinary Innovation. Before we begin, may I kindly inform to all participants to switch your mobile phones to silent mode. And for online participants, please keep your microphones muted during the session. Ladies and gentlemen, to formally open this conference, let us begin with the Indonesian National Anthem, followed by the Universitas Juanda hymn. May I kindly invite everyone to stand up. Thank you. Please be seated.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم صدق الله العظيم اللهم صل وسلم ورضي الله تبارك وتعالى عن كل أصحاب رسول الله أجمعين آمين يا رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين حمد الشاكرين بالنعمين حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيده يا ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك الكريم وعظيم سلطانك اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد طب القلوب ودوائها وعافية الأبدان وشفائها ونور الأبصار وديائها وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا ولوالدينا وارحمهم كما ربونا صغارا ولجميع المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم بارك لنا في رجب وشعبان وبلغنا رمضان وحسن مقاصدنا يا الله يا رب العالمين اللهم إنا نسألك إيمانا كاملا ويقينا صادقا وعملا متقبلا ورزقا حلالا طيبا واسعا مباركا ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك التواب الرحيم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed to the keynote address, we will first listen to the conference report. It is my honor to invite Dr. Radif Hotami Rusli, MED, the chair of the conference, to deliver the report on the organization and implementation of the conference. Time is yours, Doctor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Your Excellency, the Chancellor of Universitas Juanda, Professor Dr. Martin Stami, Honorable Rector of Universitas Juanda, Professor Dr. Siti Pupu Fauzia, distinguished keynote speakers and esteemed guests, participants and college, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the organizing committee, I am honored to welcome you to the 9th Juanda International Conference 2025. We gather under the theme Converging Knowledge for Sustainable Future, leading transformative change through interdisciplinary innovation, reaffirming our commitment to developing ethical, practical solutions for global challenges. We are also honored to host a distinguished assembly of scholars and practitioners. Our discussion will be shaped by the insight of 7 world-class keynote speakers from Turkey, Greece, Malaysia, Iraq, India, Japan, and of course, Indonesia, who will provide the intellectual foundation for our deliberations. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference has become a dynamic platform for scholarly exchange, welcoming 177 participants and scholars from leading Indonesian institutions, including Indonesia, Universitas Juanda, Universitas Sunan Derajat, Universitas Negeri Jakarta, BINUS University, Universitas Pajajaran, Universitas Erlangga, Universitas Brawijaya, Universitas Negeri Medan, State University of Surabaya, Institut Teknologi 10 November, Sekolah Tinggi Hukum Militer, and Universitas Muhammadiyah Metro. We are also honored to welcome international presenter from University of Birmingham, United Kingdom, and Suzhou City University of China. Ladies and gentlemen, the program is structured across 2 converging tracks. First, applied sciences covering digital transformation, bioscience innovation, and AI for SDGs. Secondly, social sciences exploring social entrepreneurship, global citizenship education, and law for sustainability. This event is a result of collective effort. We extend our deepest gratitude to our Chancellor, Professor Dr. Haji Martin Rustami SMH and Rector Professor Dr. Siti Fauzia for their visionary leadership and unwavering support. Also, our distinguished keynote speaker for sharing their pioneering expertise, and our co-host Universitas Sunan Derajat and our valued sponsors and partners, especially for Kiai Haji Dr. Anas Al-Hifni, and not forget to all committees members for their dedication. We love you all. Many thanks. To all participants, we hope you gain not only a certificate, but also meaningful connections, inspiration, and a renewed drive for transformative change in your field. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is a welcome address from the Chancellor of Universitas Juanda. It is our great honor to invite Professor Dr. Haji Martin Rustami, SHMH, who will officially open the conference with a welcome speech and subsequently deliver the keynote address, sharing his valuable insight on today's conference themes. Please welcome Professor Dr. Haji Martin Rustami, SHMH.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa syukurillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala habibina wa syafi'ina wa zuhrina wa maulana Muhammadin. Wa salim wa radiyallahu wa tabaraka wa ta'ala an kulli sahabati Rasulillahi ajma'in. First of all, allow me to touch my brother from Iraq, Professor Abdul Karim, also affiliated by Jalur University Malaysia. He is chief editor of DICSS, special of science, speaker, can join with the class group Mr. Professor Abdul Karim at TG room. He will guide you to publish your paper, especially for the science. My brother, Prof. Hilal, our brother actually, selamat datang Pak Hilal, kembali ke rumah kedua ya. This is the second home. Allow me to touch my close friend, Professor Dr. Naim Demirel from Recep Tayyip Erdogan University, Turkey. Assalamualaikum, Tasyakir Adirin, Prof. Mr. Professor Dr. Ravinder Rena from School of Business, Oxford University of Hyderabad. Before he's from the southern of Africa. Professor Dr. Dimitros Maditinos from the Democraticus University of Greece. Professor Asep is also from the Hiroshima University, Japan. In Japan right now, and Associate Professor Dr. Yudi as a speaker, local speaker. The chairman of Foundation Yayasan Pusat Studi Pembangunan Islam Amalia, Dr. Ahmad Mediana, Ibu Rektor, Profesor Dr. Siti Fauzia, and Vice Rector, all participants. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope good morning and peace be with us all. I want to deliver my talking point, not PowerPoint, because I invite you, all participants, to also can watch the presentation in Bahasa Indonesia. That's why it's the new my style to deliver my presentation. The topic is defending Nusantara seas from ocean grabbing by Martin Rustami. Distinguished international delegates, distinguished colleagues from academia, research institution, and distinguished guests, especially our guests from around the University of Indonesia. It is an honor and a privilege for me and for the University of Juanda to stand before you today. We are greeted at a very important moment. Not only are we celebrating Indonesian Nusantara Day and reflecting on the important Juanda Declaration of 1957, but we are also gathering for the 9th Juanda International Conference, Applied and Social Science. The Juanda Declaration is an important milestone in building Indonesian maritime sovereignty, a legacy that resonates far beyond our archipelago. Today, as Indonesia faces the interrelated challenge of the environmental degradation and the widespread threat to marine areas, the wisdom of this declaration serves as a universal guide. This reminds us that the ocean is not aspiration but a connector, not only sources for exclusive exploitation, but a shared asset for collective prosperity and sustainability. Historical Juanda Declaration. Every time we commemorate Archipelago Day, Indonesian cannot escape for a fundamental milestone, the Juanda Declaration of December 1957. This declaration is not just a political statement, but a brilliant antithesis to the doctrine of the free sea, marine liberum, which has long dictated the world understanding of the sea and has historically been determined to Indonesia. The doctrine of the free sea, developed by Hugo de Grotius in the 17th century through his 13 postulates, became the basic for colonial powers, including the Dutch, to exploit the archipelago maritime belt. In Indonesia, the colonial maritime law of the sea, which established only 3-mile limit from the tidal coastline, as stipulated in the territoriality ZAA maritime kringen under the sea from Dutch, effectively divide the territory of the Indonesian archipelago, the ocean, which was supposed to unite, became a separator that benefit the colonial power and weaken Indonesian potential unitary state. Recognizing the threat to the nation's sovereignty and unity, the Juanda Declaration was born. It marks a transformative moment in which the ocean is no longer seen as a separator but as a base and a vehicle for development. In the text of the declaration, the Indonesian government expressly states all water around, between, and connecting island, or part of the island that are part of the mainland of the Republic of Indonesia, regardless of their area, or which are reasonable part of the mainland of the Republic of Indonesia, and thus part of the national water under the absolute sovereignty of the Republic of Indonesia. Peaceful traffic in this inland water for foreign ships is guaranteed as long as it does not contradict or interfere with the sovereignty and safety of the Indonesian state. The determination of the territorial ocean boundary, which is 12 miles wide, is measured from the line connecting to outermost point of the island of the state of Indonesia. This statement fundamentally changed the world conception of the law of the sea and affirmed that all water between and around the Indonesian island are an integral part of the mainland. This is the foundation for the realization of the ideals of one homeland, one nation, and one language. Satu nusa, satu bangsa, dan satu bahasa. The impact of the Juanda Declaration was monumental, as Professor Mukhtar Kusmadwaja estimated. Indonesian territory expand from a land area about 2 million something kilometer to a combined land and sea area or more than 5 million something kilometer. An extraordinary addition of sovereignty theory, the international recognition of Indonesian fight to the concept of an archipelago state was then realized in the 1982 United Nations Convention on Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, which came into effect on November 16, 1994. With sovereignty as an archipelago country recognized under UNCLOS, the current area of Indonesia water around 6 million kilometers something. When combined with this land area, the area of the United States of Republic Indonesia NKRI around 8 kilometers, 0.3, making Indonesia one of the largest countries in the world. Indonesia Maritime Sovereignty is area divided into several main components. Area sovereignty, you can see, an area of sovereign territory sovereignty right. In addition, to its maritime area, Indonesia also has a very significant coastline. We have longest coastline in the world, yeah, and pantai terpanjang. The Juanda Declaration, which is affirmation of sovereignty over the water of the archipelago, is not only about territorial claim but also about affirming the fundamental right of the state, and it is power and people over its sea. The Juanda Declaration is mandated to ensure that the archipelago ocean, which stretches widely and richly, truly become a source of equitable prosperity for all Indonesians. And why and how now? The current reality of Indonesian sea a threat to the mandate of Juanda. Ladies and gentlemen, while celebrating the spirit of the Juanda Declaration, Indonesia cannot ignore to the troubling really that the threatens the declaration, the great mandate, the archipelago oceans, which should be a source of equitable prosperity for all people, now face seriously environmental degradation, pollution, and unsustainable exploitation of the resources. Even more worrying, Indonesian maritime sovereignty is ideal and now threatened by a phenomenon known as ocean grabbing and increasingly rampant deprivation of maritime space and coastal resources that fundamentally erodes the spirit of Juanda Declaration. Indonesia, as the largest archipelago country in the world, face major challenge in governing the sea and the coastal area. Weak governance exacerbated by sectoral regulatory fragmentation and massive investment dynamic, has the potential to trigger ocean grabbing. The Job Creation Law, Undang-Undang Cipta Kerja, which aim to facilitate investment, actually adds complexity and creates a gap from ocean grabbing due to the suboptimal implementation of the right to control the state hak menguasai negara (HMN). The Job Creation Act significantly changed the regulation of the marine sector in planning, utilization, control, supervision, and enforcement potential, simplifying permits without adequate ecosystem protection and reduction community involvement. Ocean grabbing is defined as the deprivation of marine resources by powerful actors, depriving local communities of access to those resources. The indicators including community eviction, environmental damage, land conservation, and the dominance of investors who ignore ecological sustainability and local communities' access. This phenomenon has emerged in Indonesia due to the large-scale investment facilitated by regulation such as the Job Creation Law, which often ignore the principal condition in the law of the management of coastal area and small. Manifestation of ocean grabbing in Indonesia, coastal and marine space grabbing. This ocean grabbing phenomenon is evident in various practices in Indonesia, directly contrary to the spirit of the UNIDA Declaration, which emphasizes the prosperity of the people and territory. 1. Capital accumulation and coastal space grabbing. The case of Rempang or Eco City and coastal grabbing in PIC 2. The Rempang Eco City case, the tragedy on Rempang Island Batam is a clear example of ocean grabbing and capital violence. The Rempang Eco City mega investment designs a national strategy project (PSN) has been criticized for this regarding the fairness of the coastal and small island communities and for threatening their access to resource of living space. The PSN designation can override citizen constitutional right to land, the environment, and participation. The project also threatens indigenous pribumi, settlement, and fishing ground, fooling fishermen, fear of losing their livelihood, and community rejection of the loss of cultural road and economic access. This phenomenon manifests through the derivation of space by large-scale project, economy, corruption, truth, base and status, and intimidation and repression, all of the which constitute of the violence of human rights in possible attempt to sure space and resources. Coastal grabbing in the PIC 1 and PIC 2 as areas, practice in that can also be described as ocean grabbing is evident in the development of the PIC 1 and 2 areas. The expansion is not merely physical development, but a process of spatial accumulation that overrides the right and sustainability of coastal communities. The negative impact include the destruction of mangrove ecosystem, the difficulty for fishermen to find fish, the shedding of private area, which create physical isolation, and the loss of economic opportunities for local communities. The control between the less viable resident area and the premium peak area reveals a glaring spatial injustice from the coastal grabbing that reflect gap access to resources, public facility, and quality of life. 2. Reclamation as ocean grabbing instrument. Reclamation of North Sumatra, coast of Jakarta and Banten, the Pagar Laut, for example. The history of reclamation along Jakarta's north coast, Pantura, which began in 1960 and expand significantly, is a prime example of now reclamation became an instrument of ocean grabbing, although legitimate by presidential decree and later regulated by the governor's regulation. This practice has transferred the right to manage marine space from the state to property development, violates the principle of resources used for the benefit of the people. The impact includes the potential eviction and marginalization of traditional fisher nelayan, disregard for environmental law, and the creation of the profound economic and social injuries. Also, the case same in Benua Bay Reclamation Bali, right to coastal also a new gap in ocean grabbing. The granting of the land right coastal waters, although intend to provide legal certainty, has the potential to become a new loophole for ocean grabbing. Its implementation is feared to cause space grabbing within the coastal waters and small island managed area. Finding of the number of object of land right granting in coastal water, as well as case such as the sea fence in Tangerang, Pagar Laut, which fishermen complain about because they were not in accordance with permit and restricted access indicated the potential for abuse of the trigger conflict and the deprive coastal communities of their right. There's a lot of things that our problem in Indonesia, especially for land grabbing. I cannot finish my all my paper because time also limited. That's why I want to close my my paper. Yang terakhir. As the host, UNIDA University reaffirms its commitment to becoming a center for study, advocacy, and collaboration in defending maritime sovereignty. We invite all parents, both present, both from Indonesia and our international partners, to make this conference not just a forum for discussion, but a starting point for coordinating global action. The journey from UNIDA's declaration to the present day proves that the ideal of prosperity from the sea is not just a dream, especially aimed to threat of the relegation of global ocean grabbing. The spirit of UNIDA has become our compass. Let us use this conference as momentum to strengthen commitment, align step, and jointly realize Indonesian vision of the sovereign, sustainable, just and prosperous ocean for all its people, while contributing to global effort to protect our ocean. Ladies and gentlemen, this my keynote speech, and actually long, no, 1 year before I met Prof. Ilal, we are talking about the Selat Malaka. Yeah, we also have a problem of Selat Malaka. as Pak Hilal said, beside coastal in Malaysia, all of coastal Malaysia useful by the government did. And Indonesia, why? Beside Indonesia, Selat Malaka, not what we call attended by government. And when we are going to from northern Sumatra, Aceh, Sumatra Utara, also Riau, and then Lampung, there is no special attention from government. That's why I suggest to our government to make what you call Autorita of Selat Malaka. I hope this conference can what you call find something solution to our government to make Selat Malaka as one of the our potential economic in Indonesia. Together with Malaysia will be we can manage together, because the Selat Malaka is belong to the both country, Malaysia and Selat Malaka. That's my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm so sorry when I take my time more than 20 minutes. Thank you very much. Wallahu yaqul haq wa huwa yahdi sabil. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you very much, Professor, for the insightful and inspiring remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now enter the plenary session of this international conference. Allow me to invite our plenary session moderators, Bapak Adi Rahmanur Ibnu, PhD, who will introduce the speakers and guide the session flow. Dr. Adi Rahmanur Ibnu is a lecturer at the Faculty of Islamic Religion and Teacher Education, Juanda. He earned his PhD in law at the University of Birmingham, United Kingdom, with a research focus on a central bank independence in developing countries from political, economy, and legal perspective. His research interests also include Sharia banking governance and financial statement analysis, and his works have been published in reputable international journals, including the Journal of Central Banking Law and Institutions. Since 2023, he has been actively involved in the Indonesian Association of Islamic Economics in the United Kingdom and has participated in various international conferences and academic workshops across the UK, Europe, and Asia. The session is now handed over to you, Dr. Adi.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahilladzi arsala rasula bil huda wa dinil haq liyadhhiruhu ala dini kullih wa kafa billahi syahida. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarikalah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh la nabiyya ba'dah. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude. The first one for the Chancellor of University Juanda, Professor Dr. Haji Martin Rostami SHMH, the Rector of University of Juanda, Professor Dr. Haji Siti Pupu Fauziah MPDI, distinguished presenters, senior lecturers, colleagues, participants, and all the attendees. Secondly, I would like to welcome you all to the conference, especially the plenary session. where we are going to host 7 special and reputable presenters from Malaysia, Indonesia, India, and also Greece. So now I would like to introduce myself. Of course, the MC has introduced me, but allow me to introduce myself. My name is Adi Rahmanur Ibnu, and I'm going to be the chair of this session. This is a challenging role for me, even though I feel delighted and honored to be here. It is challenging because we are going to host 7 presenters. Each will present their paper in 20 minutes. It means that you have to wait for more than 2 hours before Q&A session, so bear with us. And I have a role to ensure all the session will run smoothly and then keeping the time. Next, I would like to appreciate and express my appreciation, my highest appreciation to the committee who is choosing the most relevant topic in my opinion. So the theme or the topic for this conference is Converging Knowledge for a Sustainable Future, leading transformative change through interdisciplinary innovations. So there are several key words in this topic, such as transformative change, interdisciplinary innovations, and also sustainability. As we are now, recently we are stricken by devastating and very sad disaster in Sumatra and Aceh, where there are a lot of with high cost, which make us very sad. And from sustainability, innovation, and climate change perspective, it is very important topic to discuss. And I'm sure it will stimulate questions, responses, and also maybe criticisms. In that perspective, I would like to invite you all to follow the session with full attention and enthusiasm. Now, before I invite the distinguished presenters, I would like to inform you how we are going to manage the session. We are going to divide the session into 2 parts. The first one is the presentation, of course, and the second one, the Q&A session. In the presentation session, that is the first one, each presenter will deliver their paper or speech in 20 minutes. So please be mindful with the time limit. And in the end, you are going to have opportunity to extend your questions, responses, or criticism in 15 minutes. So we have also limited time in the Q&A sessions. So without further ado, I would like to invite the presenters to have a seat on the stage. There are 3 presenters who are going to present their paper directly. The first one, please welcome Professor Dr. Anwar Hilal bin Muhammad Dahlan. The second one, he is Associate Professor Dr. Abdul Karim SH, sorry if I mispronounce this, Mahdi Al-Obaidi from School of Engineering, Taylor University, Malaysia. Welcome. And the third one, Associate Professor Dr. Yudi Wahyudin SPI MSc from University of Juanda, Indonesia. Welcome. Okay, welcome to University of Juanda. I'm sure this is not your first visit, but we are very happy to have you here. Okay, so Bapak Ibu, ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the next session, the presentation session, I would like to read the curriculum vitae of the presenters. So we have a long list of presenters. And for the first opportunity, I would like to give the time to Professor Hilal, but before you do that, please allow me to read your curriculum. Okay, so Professor Dr. Nuarwar Hilal Muhammad Dahlan is a professor of law in School of Law, University of Malaysia. He earned his PhD from IIUM, or International Islamic University Malaysia. He is experienced in numerous positions as an academic, as an administrator, and as a local and international author. He has been published more than 100 journal article in national and international indexed journal, and he also supervised PhD projects students in Malaysia, and some of his expertise is on land law, and then give me 1 minute, because he has a long list of achievements and prize. So among his expertise is on land law, Islamic home finance law, Malaysian taxation law, and so on and so forth. His professional experience includes as a director of Institute for Governance and Innovation Studies in University Utara Malaysia, as a director in Legal and Justice Research Center in University Utara Malaysia, as an assistant vice chancellor at College of Law, Government and International Studies in University Utara Malaysia, and director of Risk Management Office in the same institutions. And the second presenter is Professor Dr. Abdul Karim, is it Sheikh or SH? SH Mahdi Al-Obaidi. He is an associate professor at School of Engineering, Faculty Innovation and Technology, Taylor University, Malaysia. He earned his PhD from University of Technology, Baghdad, Iraq, in mechanical engineering. His expertise includes aerodynamics, flight mechanics, gas dynamics, air conditioning, and refrigeration cycle. And the third one, he is Dr. Yudi Wahyudin SPI MSc. He is an associate professor at the Faculty of Agriculture, Universitas Juanda Bogor. He gained doctorate degree on tropical marine resource economics from IPB University Bogor. He has co-authored almost 100 plus articles in nationally recognized journal. He also attended numerous courses and training, including in Bremen, Germany, Da Nang, Vietnam, with regards to marine and coastal conservation and evaluation. Next, we have Dr. Asep Bayu Dani Nanito. He is from Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, or UPI. He earned his doctorate from Department of Chemical Engineering, Hiroshima University, Japan. His dissertation title is Nano to Micrometer Particles Synthesis with Controllable Morphology Towards Their Application. He also gained his master from the same institution, and his bachelor degree is from ITB, Institut Teknologi Bandung. He holds many professional positions, including visiting professor in Universitas Juanda Bogor, Universitas Komputer Indonesia, Hiroshima University, Japan, and Mahasarakam University, Thailand. He also has published numerous articles and papers in internationally recognized journal. And the next presenter is from Greece. He is Professor Dimitrios Maditinos. He is Emeritus Professor in Business Administration and Informatics, Management Science and Technology Department, School of Management and Science and Accounting, Democritus University of Thrace in Kavala Campus, Greece. He holds a degree with specialization in business administration and informatics from Lund University in Sweden, and a PhD degree in finance and financial modeling from Greenwich University in London. His research interests include financial modeling, performance measurement, investor behavior, e-business, and e-commerce. He has been published more than 30 papers, 1,000 citations, and then more than 4,000 quotations with high age index. Other activities: he is a member of the Economic Chamber of Greece and member of the Greek Computer Society. And then, next we also have Professor Dr. Naim Demirel. Professor Dr. Naim Demirel completed his master's degree at Munster University and his doctorate in public law, and served as a faculty member at DICAS University Faculty of Law and DICSS University Faculty of Law. He obtained his associate professorship from Mehmet University in Turkey. He has published many articles, papers, and book chapters, primarily in the fields of international law, UN law, advocacy law, foreigners law, and constitutional law. And then the last one is Professor Dr. Ravinder Rena. He is currently a professor in the Department of Economics at the University of Western Cape Town, South Africa. Prior to this, he has worked at the Polytechnic of Namibia in Africa, and also Eritrean and Papua New Guinean universities. He earned his PhD from the Department of Economics, Osmania University, Hyderabad, India, with an achievement of University Best PhD Gold Medal. He wrote 9 books and published over 180 papers. He has to his credit more than 100 publications in referred journals of national and international repute. Professor Rena was selected for the Best Researcher of the Year in 2011 in the Faculty of Business and Management, Polytechnic of Namibia. And also, based on his valuable research contribution, he also included in the book International WHO's published by the Historical Society USA. So those are the list of our presenters today. Since we have a tight schedule, so I would like to hand over the first opportunity to Professor Hilal to deliver your paper, please.
And very good morning. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Noran Hilal. Thank you, Mr. MC, distinguished Professor Dr. Martin Rostami, distinguished keynote speakers, distinguished guests, participants, and all the students. Again, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. And very good morning. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I would like to share my recent writing and research on Malaysian current development on housing, urbanization. If possible, could you on the PowerPoint slide? The technical committee. Okay. My title is From Abandoned Housing to Resilient Cities, Malaysia's Proposed Urban Renewal Act, URA. In 2025, the Malaysian government tried to pass an Act of Parliament. This Act of Parliament intends to revitalize, to rejuvenate old buildings in the cities, particularly in Kuala Lumpur, Penang, Johor Bahru, old buildings. Before Merdeka, in Malaysia or in Malaya or in Sabah at that time, there were no proper planning. Houses are built by villagers. The cities were haphazard, no proper planning. The British firstly introduced institutionalized building. For example, government quarters, police quarters, post office quarters, and school quarters. These are the buildings built by the British. So after Merdeka, the government of Malaysia, particularly in 1960s, Malaysia was independent in 1957. In 1960s, the government at that time robustly tried to develop Malaysia, particularly providing housing to the public, proper housing to the public, according to the modern system. So for example, until now, there are public housing occupied since 1960s and 70s. About 50 years, about 60 years, the age of the buildings. 60, 70, 50 years old building. What is the current situation of these buildings, particularly in Kuala Lumpur, in big cities like Penang, Georgetown, in Johor Bahru? Of course, they are becoming old buildings, dilapidated, unhealthy, under repair, not well maintained, old. So this has caused securities and safety issues to the occupants of the building. Security and safety issues and sustainability issues for the occupants of the buildings. So in 2025, the government has introduced, next slide. The government has introduced a bill. A bill is an act it is not an act because it is not yet passed and approved by Parliament. A bill is not an act but subject to the parliamentary debate. So this bill has been submitted to the Parliament and debated for the first time, if I'm mistaken, in last August. So this is the new urban scenario in Malaysia. So this is a new building. Next. This is a new building, last 20 or 10 years ago, built up by developers. Next. So sustainable development. So this old building must be repaired. Dilapidated building, unsafe building because of old age, 50 years, 60 years, need to be repaired to ensure sustainable development goal, particularly goal number 11. Sustainable city and community. What more? Particularly SDG number 11, to ensure sustainable city and communities. So this year 2025, the government of the day, Madadi government, headed by PMX, Anwar Ibrahim, try to pass this new law in Parliament, and this new law has been subject to debate in last August, and also there are many proposals and counter proposals how to improve the law, the proposed law. So the purpose of the law is to give a power to the government. Next. So this is Maqasid Sharia to protect the nafs, the deen, akal, nafs and mal. Also in accordance with the Islamic principle to repair, to regenerate old buildings, old urban areas. Next. So you see this is old building, maybe 50 years, 60 years old, need repair. Next. This is old building, 50 years, 60 years, need repair. Because why? The owner and the occupants do not have money to do the repair. So because of the issue of security, safety and healthiness and cleanliness, the government decided to pass a bill, to pass a law, giving a power to the government to appoint a developer to regenerate these buildings, to repair these buildings. And after that, the new building will be sold, not given back, to be sold to the occupant. And that is the issue. So if this building in 1970s priced 10,000 ringgit, now 2025, the cost of repair of the building will cost maybe 200,000. And the developer who has repaired the units will sell back to the occupant for that 60 years old building with a new price, because the new appointed developer has incurred money. Maybe it can become 300,000. Next. This is some of the pictures of abandoned housing project which the government intended to rescue. Next. This is old building. Example of building that the government intends to revive, to regenerate. Next. This is also a collapsed building in Ampang. And the government intended to demolish the building and build up new housing development area. Next. This is a new area, urban area that is beautiful, clean, regenerated. Next. This is what the government intends to do. Old building, regenerated, revive, repair and become beautiful building and safe. compared to the previous pictures that I have already shared to you, the state of dilapidated, damaged old buildings. So that is the purpose of this new law, giving a power to the government to take over the management of the urban areas and to repair these buildings by appointing a new developer. And then, after the buildings have been repaired, have been renewed and rejuvenated, becoming a new building, they will resell back to the occupants. The issue is whether the current occupant has money or not to buy these new regenerated buildings. That's an issue, and that is the big objection in the parliament recently. Yes, the intention is good, to repair, to regenerate, to beautify the urban landscape, but the cost for regeneration and repair has to be borne by the occupant themselves, and they have no money. They are not affordable to pay with the high price because of the regeneration. That is the big issue, that because of this matter, this problem, the bill until now has not yet been agreed and approved by Parliament, particularly by the opposition members and also by the government, some segment of the government. That's the big issue. Second issue, if this old building, dangerous building, unsafe building has been repaired, regenerated, becoming beautiful buildings and sold to a high price to the occupant might not have the money to pay this new regenerated building. So it means what? It means eviction of the area. It means resettlement of the area. If the people cannot repay the units that they have lived for 60 or 50 years, meaning that they are not affordable to pay. If they are not affordable to pay, they have to move from that particular area. It is called eviction. It is subtle or implied eviction of the people from that area because they cannot afford to pay the high price of the buildings. They have to go to a new area that are affordable to pay. And this is involving a political and demographic issue, because many Malays, particularly Malay people, are not affordable to pay the high price after the old building have been regenerated. It means they may have to run away from the place where they used to live, and this will dismantle the system of demography, and it also means political. It means voting rights also will be affected. That is the big issue that the government of Malaysia is facing now. In one side, they have a good intention to revive all urbanization area. The other side, who will bear the cost? The current occupant may not have the ability to pay for the cost of repair and regeneration. It means also they will be evicted impliedly from the urban area that they used to live before. And that will also mean, like what I said just now, demography problem and political issue. So now, the government of Malaysia is still not yet decided about this new law to regenerate. I think the best is the government has to use public money. Government has to use its pocket money to regenerate the buildings, old building, but with minimal payment. With minimum payment. Maybe 20,000 ringgit, 50,000 ringgit, which is affordable. It is likened to a welfare state. If the government fully give this responsibility to the private developer, and the private developer will charge a high cost, a high price to the occupants of the building owner will run away because of issue of affordability. And in this situation, the government has to raise own money in order to regenerate old building, dilapidated building, including abandoned housing project, to protect the rakyat, to protect the people. With that, thank you very much. Thank you for your focus and listening to my ideas and current lectures. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi. Thank you, Professor Hilal, for your presentations. It is very interesting topic where we all need housing, especially appropriate, safe, and affordable housing. And thank you for your presentations. Now let's move on to the second presenter. So I would like to hand over the time to Professor Dr. Abdul Karim. Time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Sabah al-khair. Actually, when I was invited to the stage, what caught my eyes that this venue, Prof. Martin, is female wanita dominant. Out of 20 rows I counted, there are 16 rows occupied by women. This is something you need to explain. Okay. So first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me again, so for the second time, the second year, to the 9th Juanda International Conference. And I want also specifically to thank my big brother, Akhuna Al-Kabir, Prof. Martin, and also to thank Dr. Radif, and of course to the conference committee for this kind invitation, and also for bringing scholars from diverse disciplines to contribute to this important theme of the conference. Simply my presentation today will talk about the artificial intelligence and data science and how to combine or integrate this with engineering to contribute meaningfully to green energies and sustainable development goals. So let's jump directly to the presentation. Okay, I think this. So this is the content of my presentation today. So I will talk briefly about the role of engineering in sustainability and what are the challenges faced by the engineers. And then I talk about the artificial intelligence and also the data science, how to integrate together, as I mentioned, to find a solution that aims to solve the global issues we are facing that actually at the end of the day contribute to achieve the sustainable development goals as mentioned by United Nations. So as we know, every engineering decision actually influences the environment, okay? And of course, the sustainability often is considered in terms of policy and also the social impact. But of course here, as we know, the engineer always face challenges, okay, when they develop systems, okay, they actually always want to look for how this design, all right, will consume less resources, and also how to improve the efficiency of the energy. Okay, we would like always to actually find solutions which help us to improve the efficiency. As we know, for example, when you go and buy or fill your car with fuel, do you know that out of, let's say, 100 Malaysian ringgit you use, only 30 ringgit actually is actually used to move your car, right? And the rest is just waste. And this contributes definitely to many issues, among them, for example, global warming, emissions, and other problems. Next, please. Right. So what are the limits, okay, or the challenges the engineer usually face when they design? Number one, actually, the solution mainly relies on physics-based simulation. And this, of course, is very, very high computational cost, have high computational cost. And of course, here, the engineer don't have the diverse solution, okay? Therefore, they have limited design explorations, right? In addition to that, the next challenge actually is how to optimize the solution, right? So this is where actually now the artificial intelligence and data science give us opportunity to, for example, having intelligent prediction, and also help us to optimize the designs. And of course here, most importantly, when we, whether engineers or other scientists, okay, when they use the artificial intelligence and data science, most importantly that we always must remember that artificial intelligence will never replace engineering knowledge, right? In fact, if we responsibly use artificial intelligence, this must enhance, okay, our ability to use it efficiently. Next, please. Right? So here, when we combine artificial intelligence and data science with engineering solution, okay, this will give us the most effective approach, which is not purely data-driven by, for example, AI, or purely physics-based as for engineer, but actually a hybrid of both. So when we combine this together, this will help us to have better solution, and most importantly, give us more diverse solution, which at the end of the day, we can optimize towards, next please, okay, towards the, next please, okay, towards the solution. So here, for example, every energy we consume, right, and every building we design, and every infrastructure actually or machine we use, here actually we try to optimize it, for example, by using renewable energy such as wind energy, solar energy, and other renewable energy. And also here, when we design a building, okay, just now my colleague just mentioned about the building in Malaysia and their effort actually to renew, okay, the buildings, and definitely the intention is to reduce, okay, the consumption, okay, to contribute to the green technology, green energy. That is the aim, actually, what my just now Prof. Hilal, right, mentioned about his paper, right? So here also, of course, the infrastructure, we try also to make it, okay, to be like connected to smart, or to be smart infrastructure. This is why we need this to reduce the low carbon infrastructure. Next, please. All right. So specifically, if we mention in my presentation, or in the area which I'm talking about the contribution of the engineers, specifically we have these SDGs, which is 7, okay, which is about the affordable, okay, and clean energy, right? And also 9, which is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. And also the next one, which is also my colleague talked about it, which is sustainable cities and communities. In addition, of course, because if we, for example, consider all these 3, 7, 9, 11, definitely this will contribute to address the most important, I believe, among the 17 SDGs is the climate action. Next, please. Right. So how this work? Okay. I mean, combining together the artificial intelligence, data science with engineering. The workflow is simply started by collecting the data. So as we know, when we use artificial intelligence, there is a huge amount of data stored there. So this, for example, if I have a design, okay, and also I also previous designs, so I have a huge amount of data. This, we can manage this data and also use it to, together with artificial intelligence, okay, to have modeling. And this what gives us actually more flexibility, I mean, as engineers, okay, to have a huge number of models. And this what help us to save time, especially for engineers, not to have a high, let's say, computational cost, but also to give us opportunity to select, okay, what is the best or the optimization we want actually to explore, and then we find the best solution, which of course address what I mentioned, or contribute to the green energies and sustainable development goals. Right? So as I mentioned here, the final outcome is the optimization, which aims to toward the sustainability. All right, but of course here I want to highlight very, very important point is, yes, we are using artificial intelligence. So this is also for all, not for engineers, of course. We need to be very, very careful when we use artificial intelligence. And that's why I put here the title, Risks of Uncritical AI Use. Uncritical. It means actually we must always check what AI give us as a solution or as a suggestion or as ideas, okay? So among these risk, okay, poor data quality. As we know, machine accept what we give. and also give us what it receives. Okay, they process the information and give us output. But of course, if the input data is garbage, definitely the outcome will be definitely garbage. Okay, secondly is black box models. What I mean by black box models, okay, sometimes actually when you get a model, this model actually unfortunately is lack of transparency. We don't know how, okay, AI actually give us the model. There is no, for example, references for this, okay? So how I trust, okay, or say that whether this model is reliable and is actual, I mean realistic, right? So this is actually one of the most important points we need to consider when we use AI. And of course, all of you definitely have experience with what is called AI hallucinations. Okay, because when it gives you information, it totally gives you something irrelevant. Okay, so this actually, you know, when someone is already full, okay, with information, start to just give any solution, regardless whether it's true, not true, realistic, ethical, unethical, all this actually can be expected, right? And of course, here the next point, okay, when we combine all these together is overconfidence, which unfortunately lead to misleading or unsafe, or I would say also unethical decisions. Okay, so how we address this? Okay, when we want to use AI, all right, we must be responsible of how to use it. Number one, we need to check the transparency. Okay, we want to understand the logic behind the AI prediction. And this is very important. Always check, okay, of course we are talking now generally, but definitely this also related to green energies and sustainable development goals. So you need first to check, okay, the information, whether this information is logic and realistic. Secondly, we need to validation, and this is very important because, as I mentioned, most of the information you get from the AI, okay, most of them are without reference. Okay, so you need to cross-check. Okay, you need to check, okay, how this information is given by or processed by the AI. And the next is the fairness. Okay, means actually here you need to check, okay, especially the biased information and whether they are legal or not. Next, please. Right. So the engineer of future, okay, based on what I just now mentioned, the engineer now is not the one who is able to give solution, but actually he, especially in this era of AI software, all right, the engineer must be AI literate, means they know how to use it, but most importantly, the engineer should not be AI dependent. Means everything I need, I go and ask AI to give me solution. So I actually must use, okay, this for following, for example, system thinking, okay, and also we need to make decision, okay, especially, for example, cross-disciplinary collaboration, because such design, especially for addressing the sustainable development goal, it is actually interdisciplinary, okay? So means different discipline working together. So this actually must be integrated, okay, and have understanding of what are the limits and capabilities of AI. Right? So I would like to finalize my or end my presentation by delivering this message. Okay, sustainable futures are driven by engineers who use artificial intelligence and data science, okay, wisely, okay, responsibly, and of course here, ethically. Terima kasih. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Thank you, Dr. Obaid, for your presentations. So I note some important and interesting quotation from you, such as sustainability as an engineering problems. This is an interesting note as a social scientist as myself, who always think politically and economically. Sometimes I think that sustainability is political problems. Yeah, but that's a diverse perspective and we can learn from each other. And ladies and gentlemen, Bapak Ibu, we are going to move to the next presenter, which is very related to Dr. Obaid presentation, which is talking about sustainability and economic valuations. So for the next presenter, I will hand over to Dr. Yudi Wahyudin. Please, time and place is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa syukrulillah ala ni'amillah la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. Rabbana atina min ladunka rahmatan wa hayyi lana min amrina rasada. Rabbi jidni ilma warzuqni fahma. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Honorable Professor Chancellor, Honorable Rector Professor Pupu Situ Fauzia, Honorable speakers from our neighbor country, from Malaysia and also from Iraq, and also ladies and gentlemen. Today I would like to express my gratitude to Professor Chancellors because he endorsed me to have this speaker agenda, so I can deliver the presentation about my background of study. The title of my presentation is The Juanda Declaration as the Foundation of the Indonesia's Ocean Economic and Economic Valuation and Social Ecological System Perspective for Sustainable National Development. Next. This is already mentioned by the moderators. Next. First, I would like to give the background and rationale for this talk. We know exactly what the Chancellor mentioned before, that Indonesia is the world's largest archipelagic state in the world. This is the biggest. So after us is Canada and so on. But for the coastline is we are the second largest, the second longest after Canada. With these archipelagic states, the biggest, so we have to have the strategic importance to the coastal and marine resources, because the resources of Indonesia is also the mega biodiversity in the world. The other background is persistent gap between marine potential and national welfare outcome, because if we talk about the contribution, the economic contribution of the ocean is only 10 to 15% from national GDP. So this is the gap. We have to extend. because like what Professor Chancellor said that we have 2/3 areas, yeah, around we call 68%. Yeah, the area of Indonesia is the waters. Next, this is also we have the pride to the sea and maritime paradigm. This is Indonesia and as a maritime continent. If we talk about the largest, we can compare our waters compared to the others. So with Europe, 2 times Indonesian waters. With the Africa, Africa is 5.5 times to Indonesian waters. Australia almost 2, and we have 5.2 million kilometers. This is the asset of Indonesian. If you talk about the value of the ocean, I calculate also, the value of the ocean is 15 million rupiah per hectares. So if we calculate all 5.2 million times to 15 million is around 7.8 quadrillion rupiah. You can mention about the asset of Indonesia. Only talk about the waters itself. In the waters, in the bottom, and also in the substrate, we have a coral reef, something like that, or seagrass, and also mangrove. If we calculate together, is more than 8 quadrillion also. So combined is almost 15 quadrillion rupiah. So that should be able to become the world's maritime axis, yeah, poros maritim. Next, this is the destiny of Indonesian nation. We talk about the destiny of Indonesia because of what? Because of we are living in the archipelagic state, and we have to adapt it. Yeah, being grateful, building friendship with others, and also managing how to manage the sea as lifeblood of the nation. So there is first president of Indonesia in the National Maritime Convention talk about national development. He said, to build Indonesia becomes a great nation, a powerful nation, a wealthy nation, and a tranquil nation. Nation can be powerful only if control the ocean. To control the ocean, we must control sufficient fleet. So this is the main program with our country. If we want to get the sufficient fleet to occupy the marine waters, we need the fleet of vessels. We need also the industry, the domestic capital goods industry belong to this ocean. Next. The Juanda Declaration itself, this is beyond territorial sovereignty. This is any historical milestones of maritime sovereignty, like what Professor Chancellor mentioned before. 2 is the recognition of the sea as integrated national space. The united, yeah, the waters not divided, but united the island. The implication of resource governance and also the development pathway it is in this declaration of Juanda beyond territorial sovereignty. Next, if you talk about this, we have unclassed maritime airspace zone. We can see, as well as also Professor Chancellor said, that used to be we have only 12 nautical mil. Before 19 1957, before the Juanda Declaration. After Juanda Declaration, before Juanda Declaration, the archipelagic waters is not to be our belonging. So after the declaration, inland waters is belong to us. That's why Professor Chancellor said that from 2.1 million kilometers is wider until to the 5.2 million kilometers. We can see there is an island like Cap, something like that. The territorial sea is belong to us is only 12 nautical miles. But if we have coral reef or border island in border to the neighbor, so this is we call the border. So the nautical miles not from the mainland but from the outer island. So that's why we have the waters more than 5.2 million kilometers. Next. From the maritime sovereignty to economic, to the ocean economic. We know that the sovereignty as a precondition, not an end goals. There is a transition from the control of space. One is productive because we have we have the ocean, we have the marine and coastal resources. So we have to utilize optimal utilization. So that's why sustainable use. From the utilization, we have ocean economic as a driver of national development. We can see there is 7 spectrum of ocean economic. Next. The key sectors, first is fisheries. Come from capture fisheries and also come from aquaculture. Both of marine aquaculture or terrestrial aquaculture. And also coastal and marine tourism. We have a lot of conservation area. We have a lot of area in Indonesia is used to be tourism area. There is a lot of attraction come from the coastal and marine resources. The third is sea transportation. As mentioned, that vessel or flat is come from these sectors. It's also maritime industry. We have to build the ship, so we have to build also the industry. We have also offshore mining, because a lot of mining is come from the offshore. Yeah, if we talk about PHE, Pertamina Hulu Energy in offshore North Java, and also the others is in what we call Natuna, etc. And also there is a marine infrastructure. We have a port, something like that, and also the marine service based on the conservation area. There is an economic contribution versus the ecological pressure. So even we earn the benefit from the coastal and marine, but we have the pressure come from something like from us actually. If we thinking about the disaster of Sumatra, at the end it's come to the ocean. In the ocean there is a mangrove. If mangrove covered by the material of flood, so they cannot breathe, so they can die. And also coral reef is also something like that. If there is a flood come from to the ocean and cover the coral reef, the coral die, and also seagrass. As we know, coastal and marine resources giving the service value to the wealth of the nation, to the wealth of the human. Structural challenge is overuse, inequalities, and fragmentation of governance, because each governance have their own rule and not combined together to have the good governance for the coastal and marine resources. Next. Then we have also ocean economic macro indicators. We talk about incremental capital output ratio and also incremental labor output ratio. If we talk about incremental capital output ratio, if the sectors have the ICAR lower than the other, the sector is efficient. Yeah, efficient. So if we talk about the efficiency, it's come from the coastal and marine tourism. It's only 3.01, and also the fisheries 3.3 compared to the others. There is also a marine industry actually 2.39, and also other marine service. But if we talk about this ICAR, we talk fisheries and coastal and marine tourism. Why? Because fisheries and marine tourism are the best option for development priorities. Because of what? Because the community in Indonesia is depend on the coastal and marine resources. But the resources itself should be supported by we call the transportation, the sea transportation, and also actually for the port. Support for maritime transportation is essential for the development of priority sectors. Therefore, this sector should also be developed priority. So based on the ICAR and ILR, ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 sectors that should be developed if we want to earn the great benefit from the ocean. Next. Now we talk about why economic valuation matters. If you have this figure of Costanza et al., the social well-being can be earned by us because of what? Because there is an interaction between natural resources and the human capital. Yeah, the interaction itself is come from the ecosystem services. So that's why the economic resources is reveal hidden economic value of coastal and marine ecosystem. Many coastal and marine benefits are invisible in the market. If you talk about something like mangrove, there is a function to reduce or avoid the degradation, the abrasion. In the market, there is no value of that. But if we calculate with the replacement cost, we have a breakwater. If we build a breakwater, a huge expenditure will be cost to build the breakwater. So the cost of build the breakwater is belong to the function of mangrove as the protecting to the abrasion. Undervaluation leads to overexploitation and policy neglect. Essential for sustainability, and valuation is a bridge between ecology and economic decision making. Why? My professor said before, if we talk about if we talk about love, saying with the flowers. If we talk about development, say in money term. So in money term, what we should be done to that, we have to calculate to monetize the coastal and marine resources as the asset, and if we have a development, combine together the value of the natural resources could be the cost of development itself. So can reduce the development. Next. If we talk about marine and coastal ecosystem services, in the picture mention about this. Yeah, the marine and coastal have the food security, recreational opportunities, shoreline protection, sequester carbon, and others. So there is 4 actually ecosystem services: regulating service, provisioning services, culture service, and also supporting services. Next. We talk about also evolution of the ecosystem valuation. We mentioned that provisioning, regulating, culture, supporting services. There is next. This is a long-term valuation trend. So I have the reference myself published this kind of valuation. So we have ecosystem services in the local, regional, and also the global. Next. The valuation as policy instrument. Ladies and gentlemen, significant economic losses from reef degradation itself is many. For example, I delegated from University of Juanda. Terima kasih Bu Rektor has always give me the letter of obligation to be the expert of the economic losses of reef degradation. So you can imagine, for the only 4 meters square, ladies and gentlemen, the Caledonian sky should pay Indonesia is about 80 billion rupiah. Okay, next. There is also a limitation. Next. To the next, sorry. Oh my God. Next. In the framework of social ecological system. Next. This is actually the corridor. Next. Between natural and economic, there is productivity, and next, if we talk about ecosystem services, it belong to good and services. Ladies and gentlemen, this is ecological system. So combine good and services give the benefit and accident cost, avoid cost. So there is a net value. When overused, there is a problem. Next. This is a human system. Overuse then give the problem, give the cost, and the cost itself will reduce the benefit. That's why we call this social ecological system. Next. This is what we have to do if we want to measure the ecosystem services. Next. This is also the diagram. Next. When we talk about the ecosystem, there is catch fisheries with the fisheries come from the ecosystem, and at the end, the main consumer will be by us. Yeah. Next. The Juanda Declaration through CESS land, Unified Maritime Space, by the integrated social ecological management, legal foundation for cross-sectoral governance and alignment with the ecosystem-based management principle. There is ecological sustainability, social sustainability, and also economical sustainability. Next, the implication of ICM, integrated coastal management, moving from administrative boundaries to ecological units, harmonizing land-sea interaction, like the disaster of Sumatra, because of what? Because the mountain is already finishing, so there is a lot of come from to be harmful from the flood. Strengthening coordination across institution and scale. Next. The key message. Next. The key message. This is the last. Next. Yeah. Key message. The Juanda Declaration remains highly relevant today. It is. Economic valuation is essential but insufficient alone. Integrating valuation with social-ecological system enables sustainable ocean-based development. Next, closing remark, Indonesia Ocean future depend on integration, not fragmentation. The Juanda Declaration provides the foundation to the national development and governance policy. The challenge ahead is operationalizing the term of this through science-informed policy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Yudi Wahyudi, for your presentation. Such an interesting topic regarding marine valuations and its economic, opportunities. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next presenter. The next key speaker is Dr. Ravinder Rena. So he is going to present his presentations through online platform. So I would like to ask the committee, is Dr. Ravinder Rena ready on the online platform? Okay, so while we are waiting for the committee to prepare the online platform, so I would remind all the participants to wait until the Q&A sessions. You are going to have 15 minutes time slot to ask your questions. Write down on your notes, or maybe if you don't bring any notes, you can type it in your mobile phone, because this is such a great opportunity to meet distinguished keynote speakers, to meet the distinguished experts on every topic, including AI, green technology, and then sustainability. Okay, so next we are going to check whether the next presenter is ready. Okay, while I'm waiting for the next presenter, I would like to note some interesting point from the previous presenter, such as the problems of coastal grabbing that has been mentioned by the chancellor. We saw this in Indonesia, especially in Rempang and then in Peak 1 and Peak 2. So this is very crucial and captivating topic. So now I've just got an update from the committee. So now we are going to go to the Q&A sessions. Okay, so we have three speakers here. And for the first term, I would like to give the chance to two persons to ask his or her questions. Please raise your hand and then introduce yourself, and then mention your questions as brief as possible. Thank you. So the first one from the right side, my right side, and the second one. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so thank you, Pak Asep, for your time, and you are ready now on Zoom, I believe. So to make the times effective and efficient, I hand over the time and place to you, please. Please, Professor Asep, you can deliver your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm sorry, I just arrived in Tokyo. That's why, from Hiroshima, yeah, from Hiroshima to Tokyo. Yeah. Okay. Would you mind to share the PowerPoint because I'm using a cell phone now? Someone can share my PowerPoint. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. How are you, everyone? How are you, everybody here? Thank you very much for the time. Thank you very much for the Universitas Juanda and also all the speakers here, and also to Prof. Martin and then the team. I would like to little bit make a presentation about harnessing biomass waste particle technology in sustainable product development. So I am Asep Bayudanandianto. I am from Program Studi Teknik Kimia, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. So I am now actually got a fellowship as a visiting professor in Japan in Hiroshima University. Yeah, for 3 months in here under JASO. Okay, next please. So this is my brief of curriculum vitae, and then also, yeah, I think we have to. I think this one is become bigger. Okay, next please. It's okay. We can make faster because I'm afraid the internet is not good here. Next please. I think okay. So the first is about introduction, about what is the meaning of biomass. Biomass is the term of refer to the organic matter made from plants and animal waste or microorganism. So when it is burned, the chemical and the energy of biomass is release heat, yeah. And then the fact of biomass is versatile, potential waste, economic impact, and abundant. And then also now the meaning of the role of particle technology here is mechanical treatment. We can use biomass using mechanical treatment, carbonization, pyrolysis, gasification, or chemical treatment, yeah. And then also various biomass we can see here. Usually people doing combustion and also using liquefaction and etc. Yeah. Okay, the next please. Hello, yes. Next please. Next page please. Back. I think. Okay. The importance of the biomass conversion is to convert biomass into valuable product. So, for example, there are many until now there are many types. I mean, many strategy to convert biomass. For example, bioethanol, biogas, and solid fuel. Next, please. Okay, and also biochemical, and then material and polymer and nutrition product. Okay, next. So now the meaning of biomass is how to control the biomass become what is valuable product. So we have to change the biomass into particle, so smaller particle. For example, we can control the particle size for biomass before we use, yeah. For example, from the centimeter to millimeter to micrometer and to nanometer. So why we need to control the particle size of the biomass is because the surface area optimization and then also diffusion efficiency and ability to enter the small space. That is why we need to control the biomass to change it and then to convert it into particles. Yeah. Okay, next please. Okay, in our study recently, so the biomass is converted into valuable product. For example, biomass, using after milling, we can produce particle biomass, and then we put a binder, we can product it, and then we can get it the pack and heat, we can get a brake pad, and then we can pack, heat, and carbonization, we can get a briquette, and then also pack, heat, and cementization, we can get concrete. Yeah. Okay, next please. And also, for example, one of the biggest problem now in Indonesia is usually related to the water hyacinth. So we can, using a particle technology, we can convert biomass into, for example, several materials. For example, animal food, animal feed, for example, fertilizer, or brake pad, and then biogas, and etc. And even water hyacinth can be used as phytoremediation. And then also we can produce this one become a bioplastic. So we just combine carbohydrate with a polymer, we can get bioplastic. And also water hyacinth, we can change it into silica and carbon material, and we put, and then we can get particle products. Yeah. Okay, next please. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. Let's take action now to protect our planet and build a sustainable future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Asep Bayu, for your presentations. It is such an interesting topic, and maybe the presentation remind you to current topic in the news. Few days ago, or few weeks ago, we read in the news about renewable fuel, right? And even the governor of West Java was interested to that. Yeah, I'm sure you know about it. So it was Bobby Boss, right? So it is very controversial, but everyone talks about it. Maybe the audience, you can clarify or ask about that later in the Q&A sessions. So thank you, Professor Bayu, for your presentation again. And now we're gonna go to the next speaker. Okay, so does Professor Ravinder? Okay, so we're gonna listen to Dr. Ravindarena from School of Business, Woxen University, Hyderabad, India, to present his paper. Doctor, time and place is yours.
Colleagues, good morning, everybody. It's absolutely a proud privilege for me to be part of this international conference organized by Juanda University. Juanda, I was there in Juanda last year. I was there with Professor Martin, the Chancellor, and all the Vice Chancellor, Deans, Directors, and everybody. I was there, and I did miss this time. But right now I'm in India, attending Indian Economic Association conference. So I don't want to miss this opportunity to speak, deliver my keynote address in this particular forum. The topic that was chosen, I would like to thank Professor Martin, the Chancellor, and all the university, Juanda University, for inviting me. And the topic that was chosen today is very, very important for us, that we need to look at the interdisciplinary subjects and the knowledge transformation and innovative ideas to work together and to grow together. So that is the knowledge economy is also very, very important for all of us. Now let me unpack we talk about agriculture economy, and most of the India or probably Indonesia, all the developing and developed countries today that we see, they already started their journey with agriculture. If you take before the first industrial revolution, most of the economies, they were absolutely practicing the agriculture, the farming as their main probably occupation, whether it is UK or whether it is Australia, or we talk about USA and so on and so forth. And India, Indonesia, obviously, we are agro-based economies. As we progress, ladies and gentlemen, we move to the industrial side. So probably industry plays a vital role. After the first industrial revolution, we moved on to the second industrial revolution, which is basically electrification. So electrification that empowered and also provided an impetus for us to grow industrially, and eventually we could able to probably start a manufacturing sector. And the first electrification that also started very, very recently, probably plus minus 100, 120 years ago. Not long time ago, the Thomas Alva Edison probably invented the bulbs and so on and so forth. I'm not going to go to the too much history, but generally, ladies and gentlemen, the second industrial revolution has provided a greater support for us to change rapidly toward the industrialization. So we moved from agriculture to the manufacturing sector. Then later on, ladies and gentlemen, that we moved around 1950s and 60s, probably, so to be specific, the first industrial revolution started around 1760 to 1840, for about 80 years period. And then second revolution started probably around 1880 to 1920, somewhere there. So eventually, ladies and gentlemen, now we have got the third industrial revolution, which is basically called as the ICT revolution. That was started somewhere around 1950s and 60s, and it went on probably up to 2000 and so on. So this transformation in the global economy, transformation in the innovation process, transformation in the methods of production, transformation in the knowledge economic systems or ecosystems. So all these been transferred drastically for the past about 200 years, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the population of the world 200 years ago, we had only 1 billion people living on this planet. That was recorded on 1804. That was the population in the whole globe. Now the population of India alone is more than 1.45 billion people. And in China also, it's probably close to 1.45 billion people. Indonesia is also the fourth largest populated country with about 285 million people. And maybe third is USA with about 45 million people. So what does it tell us? So we grow both horizontally and vertically. And both economically, in terms of the population, in terms of the innovations, technology, development, and in many aspects we grow. But now, if we look at the specific knowledge transformation, what is happening in the world today, ladies and gentlemen, that is, we are moving faster, but we are neglecting the social sciences. We are been concentrating more on the technology front, where we are absolutely giving a back seat to the social sciences, arts, which is probably history, anthropology, and we have got sociology, maybe several other subjects like political science and social work and so on and so forth. So we've been neglecting those subjects. So that would create some detrimental to the global population for us to grow in harmony. We've been talking about the digital economy today. That is the fourth industrial revolution. So as part of the fourth industrial revolution, we talk about artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain technologies, cloud computing, big data analysis, and so on and so forth. We've been just busy with ourselves. Instead of using the mind, we started using the chat GPTs. We started using artificial intelligence in every aspect, in every sector, including education, health, and whatever with agriculture or industry and banking sector and everywhere. So what is happening actually? In this transformation process, what is going to happen to us in the near future? And what would be the stability of these people living here? What would be the stability of the economy? What would be the stability of the education sector? If we look at seriously, deeply into this all changes that are occurring across the globe, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes it looks very gloomy. Sometimes it looks very depressive. Sometimes it looks hopelessness. So these are the changes that have been occurring in the global economic front. And so that will create a lot of imbalances within the social sciences, within the maybe physical sciences, technological sciences, and engineering sciences, and maybe any other different other probably areas of study or areas of science and research. So we need to have a fine silver line between all these kind of social sciences, all these kinds of subjects. So interdisciplinary process, ladies and gentlemen, there is no way that we could able to neglect social sciences and give top importance only for the engineering sciences, technological sciences, and many other sciences as such. So therefore, every subject has got its own worth. Every subject has got own importance, and we need to recognize that. There is no way that we could able to neglect the other subjects while we are giving top importance to the technological front. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we always need to make a fine balance between all these subjects that we go through. For example, we have got 2,500 universities in the whole world today. And what do they mean to us? So 2,500, and if we look at a country like Indonesia, in Indonesia we have got several universities. Probably the population of Indonesia has indicated 285 million people. We got hundreds of universities and probably thousands and thousands of colleges and schools and so on and so forth. But now we also different universities. Even while I was there at Juanda University last year, I was also speaking about the infrastructure. I was speaking about various other facilities that have been provided to the students and probably the staff members and so on and so forth. So there are subjects, not only economics and business, there are also social sciences which we should not able to neglect. Now the point of the matter, I would like to, in the interest of time, I'd like to make it clear, ladies and gentlemen, that children nowadays, they are using ChatGPT for the knowledge development, knowledge economic purpose. Now what do they mean to us? That means that they are not using their brain, they are using artificial things while they are supposed to use the natural things, their own mind, their own ability, their own skill, their own dexterity. Instead of using those in terms of doing the assignments, in terms of writing the dissertations, in terms of writing the thesis and all the research works or articles, they've been using only the ChatGPT. Now, how destructive that is going to be. ChatGPT is there to support us. It is going to complement us, but it cannot be used as a creator of our content, a creator of our knowledge, creator of our wisdom. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, if you could able to provide a question to ChatGPT, whatever you want, it can give you the answer, and probably you manipulate that and you try to submit. For instance, I spent more than 5 years of my life to complete my PhD degree at Osmania University in Hyderabad, India. And any student, whether I'm teaching in South Africa, whether I'm teaching in any part of the world, the students that I'm supervising for masters and PhDs, and if you could able to provide them the opportunity, they can complete the PhD in 5 minutes time. Because the fact is that you got a machine that can support you, not the brain. Brain has to think, brain has to process, brain has to probably edit, probably revise, probably change the thought process and systematize the literature and so on and so forth. So ladies and gentlemen, things have been moving faster than we anticipate, faster than we expect. So all these things should not create any kind of anomaly, any kind of disturbance in our knowledge, innovation, and wisdom development areas. So therefore, all the human beings, surprisingly, we have the memory power of about 2.5 petabytes of memory power. So meaning that we have got every human being living on this planet, plus minus, they have got the memory power of 2.5 million gigabytes of memory power. How many of us, we are able to use that memory? We need to question ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. We don't even use 1% of our memory. Rather, we use now chat GPTs. And when you are going to use the brain, if you use the chat GPT, and there is no way that you could able to develop this knowledge economy, that there's no way that you could able to transform the education sector to one of the key, because without education, all these technological developments, all the changes that we see today, whether they are engineering front, whether they are technological front, whether they are science and innovation front or space technology front, nothing is going to be possible for us. So therefore, let us try to look at the education as a whole for us. Let us try to provide all our means and support and attention and dedication, hard work towards the education sector, and then we try to do the noble and honest probably services to the education sector. We learn something every day from the education sector. I always believe that, ladies and gentlemen, you learn every single day, whether you are a professor, whether you are a chancellor. I still remember the words of our beloved chancellor, Professor Martin: to go to heaven, it is very easy, but to become a professor, it is really hard. I still remember Professor Martin when we are having dinner with him 1 year ago in Juanda University in Juanda itself. So what does it mean actually? This is the sheer hard work every human being must go through the process. You can't cut the corners, you can't find the shortcut methods for you to become a professor, for you to become an engineer, for you to become a scientist, for you to become an economist and somebody else. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, all the process that the education takes you through, you need to go through so that you transform yourself, your knowledge to the wisdom base. So knowledge to wisdom base is important, and that is why education has got the power. Education should be used as a powerful instrument to transform this world, because education is the only weapon. It can transform a farmer child as a president of a nation. If you take the presidents of Indonesia or presidents of India or presidents of many other countries, even South Africa, where I come from, Nelson Mandela was also a farmer child. And so most of the children of farmers can become the president or the prime ministers of those countries. That is, education is the one which supports it. A scavenger's son can become a medical doctor, and a driver's son can become an engineer, and tuk-tuk auto rickshaw driver son can become probably a scientist. So all these things that are been provided, no matter whatever socioeconomic background that you come from, but you believe in education, education doesn't cheat you. So education always support you to grow. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, let us support, let us try to do whatever we could able to do for the education sector. And when we believe in this education sector, it not only transforms you as an individual, but also transform your economic condition, your social condition, your social status, and eventually it could also probably change your own country's picture in the global map. So meaning that, ladies and gentlemen, now Indonesia is one of the leading economies in the world, where it is ranking about 14th place in the world global economy, where it's contributing close to $2 trillion income. And Indonesia is expected to become probably the 5th largest economy in the coming couple of decades' time, with the vision that they have by 2045. And when Indonesia got independence probably 2 years before India got independence on 15th of August 1947. So that is the vision, that is the blueprint that every one of us, we should work hard so that we could probably transform the economy from one phase to another phase. Now, how long Indonesia should be seated in the developing countries list? It is the right of Indonesians, it is the right of all the people that they need to change their status from developing country to developed country. I still remember, ladies and gentlemen, there was a conference that was taking place in Bandung. The global South countries, South nations, they meet for the first time. So Bandung conference is always considered to be one of the important conferences in the global South. And so global South countries, they have met in Bandung. So historically, Bandung of Indonesia plays an important role in the whole global South politics, actually. So after that, the non-alignment movement that was started by Indonesian leader, Egyptian leader, a Ghanaian leader, and Indian leader like Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru, they all started the journey from that place. And also, most importantly, our colleagues were speaking earlier to me. They also emphasized the Juanda Declaration, that place that has taken place in Juanda itself. And that also, the place of Juanda, the University of Juanda also plays a vital role in the overall journey of transformation from the knowledge to the wisdom, to the knowledge to the innovation, and so on and so forth. So with these few words, in the interest of time, I've got a lot to talk about, but in the interest of time, I would like to conclude by stating, thanking to all the participants, all the students and the staff members, and more importantly, Professor Martin, the Chancellor of Juanda University, and also Radif, our colleague, and the Dean. And I met you all personally last year. We had dinner together, and that was a memory for me. But in the next year, probably, inshallah, I will try to come in person to Indonesia, to Juanda, and I'll be there in person. So, shukran, and assalamu alaikum, rahmatullah, and also terima kasih, and salamat. Thank you, Wananda.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Ravindarena, for your interesting presentations. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next presenter. And we are going to have Professor Dimitrios. Is Professor Dimitrios on the line? Okay.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Good morning, Indonesian time.
Good morning.
So
Here is 6 in the morning.
Yeah, we are still in the morning here. So, Professor Dimitrios, please deliver your presentations. Time and place is yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let's share the screen. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, clearly,
Are
Professor.
you okay? Sorry? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, first of all, thanks a lot for the invitation. It's an honor for me to participate at this conference, at Juanda International Conference. I'm very happy to be among with you, and the problem is I'm not there. And this would be a dream to be around and to talk, to meet you, and be proud of being a member of this nicely group. So I'm talking you from Greece, I'm talking you from Europe, and what I would like to talk is the role of digital transformation and green technologies in advancing sustainable growth. So it's a hot topic, it's a hot issue. Both Europe and Asia are trying to manage it in the best possible way. Individually or privately, it seems they do it, but let's combine it, how governments, how international bodies can manage it and can control it. Definitely it's difficult to control it, but somehow to manage it and somehow to offer the best for the society. This is what we would like to talk today in my short speech. So I'm Professor Dimitrios Mandetinos. I'm coming from Greece. I'm coming from Demokritos University of Thrace. My department, my school is Management Science and Technology. And here you see Europe, the green one. You are on the right. Here on the south you see Greece. The south is part of Europe. And here you see Greece in general, the white and the red area. And the red area is my region. This island is opposite to my city. My city is called Kavala. My city is called Kavala. This is the city, this is my village where I'm talking you from. This is my area, and I'm happy to know that you know now where I'm coming from and where I'm talking you from. So the problem is that we have to discuss about digital transformation from one side and green technologies from the other side. Let's start from digital transformation. So it is digital transformation, we call it DT, is the deep integration of digital technology.
I'm sorry, Professor.
All of us.
Hello.
Sorry?
I think you have to move the slide yourself, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Yeah, we still see the first page.
Oh my God. Can you see my next slide now?
Yeah, we don't see the next slide. We are still in the first page.
Wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Wait a little
yes.
bit. Try to stop the screen. Stop share. Try to share again.
Yes, please try again.
What about now? Can you see the next slide?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Now?
Not yet.
Not even now.
Yeah.
Let me do it again.
Or should we share your
Yeah,
slide from here?
1 minute, please. 1 minute, please. If we manage it now. What about now?
Still, we cannot see. So,
Okay, I will stop share and I give you the button to share, to change the slides.
Yeah, we see
Can it
the
work?
slide now. Is it
Can
from
you change
you or
the-
from the committee? Okay.
Can you change the slides? for
Yeah,
me?
yeah. So I think we are going to control the slide from here, and then you
Okay.
focus on
Okay.
the explanation.
Okay. So I give you the floor and you change the slides.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Please.
I wait for you.
We are showing the slide now. Can you see it as well?
Yes, but you must maximize it because I don't see it well.
Make it bigger, maybe.
What about the...
Or maybe we can focus on the slide. So we only have one screen. So
What about
we
the
can
other
see the
participants?
slide. We can see a bigger slide.
But
How about now, Professor?
for me, I cannot see in full screen, but can you make it in full screen?
It's already full screen. Is it already full screen from the
No.
operator?
But anyway, I can manage it from, I will see on my computer and you will show to the others.
Yes.
No problem about it.
Yes. Yeah, so you focus on the presentation, and then we are going to try to show the correct
Yes.
slide.
Yes. So, I'm on the first slide now. I move to the second slide where I present, the second slide is about my name. I'm coming from Democritus University of Thrace. Is it okay now?
Yes.
I'm coming from Management Science and Technology Department. And my topic is the role of digital transformation and green technologies in advancing sustainable growth. I'm coming from Europe. I change slide now. I'm coming from the southeast part of Europe, where is Greece, my country. This is my country. Are we synchronized now?
Yes, you can see it now.
Okay, perfect. I'm coming from Greece. You see my country with many islands, and the red part is my region where I'm living, where I'm working, where I'm acting. And this is some photos from my area, from my city, my village, from where I'm talking you at the moment. So the topic is about digital transformation and green technologies. And think that today we meet at a moment in history defined by both extraordinary possibility and unprecedented urgency. Why? Because around the world, societies are grappling with climate change, resource scarcity, the rising of global demands for energy, mobility, and infrastructure, of course. At the same time, we are experiencing one of the most rapid technological revolutions ever witnessed. Those two forces, which are environmental responsibility and technological innovation, are often discussed separately. But the true thing is that our ability is to build a sustainable world depends on how effectively we harness digital transformation to accelerate green technologies. So let's see about what is green technologies a little bit, and let's move to digital. What is digital transformation, and let's move to digital technologies. So digital transformation is the deep integration of digital technology in all business, in all areas, fundamentally changing operation, culture, and customer experience. And the problem is why? The question is why? We do it because we want to boost efficiency, value, and competitiveness. And this involves rethinking processes, new models, and new way of thinking the culture. And definitely we can tell that digital transformation is not just adapt new tools. It's not just adapt the tools, it's not just adapt the new ideas. No, it's to make them working in new culture, in the existing cultures, in the way of people acting, and with focus to sustainability. We move to the second slide about digital transformation again. It is focused on leveraging technologies such as artificial intelligence, cloud platforms. Why? To unlock and to produce and to show us to bring us new value, to accelerate innovation, to adapt to evolving market demands, to impact internal operation. It needs customer engagement and new business models, which enhancing organization agility and resilience. We see that digital transformation can change our lives, can change the economy, can change everything. On the other side, green technologies, or Greek tech, or green technologies we used to say. It refers to environmentally friendly technologies that aim to minimize harm to the planet. How? This is the problem. Mainly through sustainable practices and mainly through innovative solutions. And this is the topic we have to focus and we have to discuss. So we start from the governance of two major global transformations. The two major global transformations, as we told earlier, are digital transformation and green technology. So digital transformation is not simply the introduction of new tools or platforms, as we said before. It is a fundamental rethinking of how we operate, how organizations serve customers, how industries optimize processes, and how societies make decisions. So, on the other side, in parallel, green technologies, which like renewable energy systems, like circular manufacturing, low carbon infrastructure, and so on, represent our most promising pathway to a livable planet. They offer strongest hope for a sustainable future. And this is how those two transformations can be, those two technologies, in more simple words, can be combined and can offer to the society. A defining insight of a modern era is that these two transformations, as we told before, are not independent. No, they are interlinked. They are intrinsically interconnected, reinforcing one another and mutually dependent. So, keep up to now that we have digital transformation from one side and green technologies from the other side. And they are not, we do not have to study them separately. We have to study them because they are mutually dependent. So digital technologies enhance the effectiveness of sustainable solutions. So we need digital technology to achieve effectiveness of sustainable solutions. On the other side, green technologies align digital innovation with broader societal and environmental goals. This governance shapes a new era of economic growth, characterized by intelligence, resilience, and environmental responsibility. So, the governance of the two major transformations is very, very important. So, digital technology and green technology are our target. And let's see now why intelligence is essential to sustainability. In other words, what is the critical role of digital intelligence in achieving sustainability? Let's consider a single truth. We cannot manage what we do not measure. So we cannot manage what we do not measure. If we cannot measure something, we cannot manage it. So we start from this point. Digital transformation gives us the ability to monitor, to predict, to analyze, and to optimize systems with unprecedented accuracy, with extreme precision. And what are those tools or those elements of a digital transformation? First of all, artificial intelligence and machine learning. Everywhere now are talking about artificial intelligence and machine learning. So, what can artificial intelligence do? It can forecast energy demand to detect inefficiencies. Where? In factories, in plants, to optimize supply chains, very important, and to reduce emissions. AI-enabled energy management systems can cut consumptions by more than 20% in commercial buildings without any loss of comfort or productivity. So AI and machine learning are very important tools for, or elements better, for digital transformation. Then we have Internet of Things and real-time sensors. We can now track air quality, water usage, soil condition, and equipment performance on a minute-by-minute basis. This real-time insight reduces waste, prevents breakdown, and guides smarter resources allocation. On the other side, or additionally, digital twins. Digital twins allow engineers to simulate buildings, power grids, even entire cities before construction begins. So they have to simulate them and then to start building. This means that fewer mistakes, lower material usage, and optimized performance can be there. How to do it? Cloud computing and data platforms are helping. The cloud enables scalable systems for environmental reporting, carbon tracking, and supply chain transparency. No more scattered spreadsheet or slow manual audits. Data becomes truth-worthy, centralized and actionable. So we have to combine all million data sets we have, because data sets contain valuable information. But we have to combine them to mine and to achieve the best possible information to keep the green around and alive. So in short, digital intelligence accelerates sustainability. How? By replacing guesswork with precision. So, in other words, in essence, digital intelligence enhances sustainability by substituting informed precision and uncertainty. Green technologies now, where innovation meets responsibility. So while digital tools provide the intelligence, green technologies provide the impact. So remember this, digital tools provide the intelligence. And on the other side, green technologies provide the impact. What are those impacts? Okay, impact we have on renewable energy, solar, wind, geothermal, and hydropower now generate electricity more cheaply than fossil fuels in many regions. But their variability requires smart systems, and smart systems become through digital transformation. And this is where digital transformation becomes essential. We have energy storage and smart grids. So battery storage, hydrogen solutions, and dynamic grid balancing can only reach full potential with advanced analytics, which analytics is coming from AI-driven control systems. Then we have electric mobility. Electric mobility or electric vehicles adoption is rising rapidly. But the challenge lies in changing infrastructure, grid integration, and predictive maintenance, all of which depend on digital platforms. So, to success with electric mobility, we need well-established digital platforms. Then we have circular economy and innovations. Okay, digital tracking systems allow products to be reused, very important, refurbished or recycled rather than discarded. This is very important. And blockchain can verify materials, prevent greenwashing, and to ensure ethical sourcing. This is very interesting here because we are talking about digital transformation. Okay, we need it, we have it, we use it. And then we need to achieve sustainability by enhancing green technologies. But don't forget what at the moment digital transformation is causing. By using and reusing new things, new material and everything, we create waste. And the waste of them, where we put those waste, unfortunately, my gentlemen and my ladies and gentlemen, we put them in countries which are relatively poor. Where are those countries? Mainly in Africa. And this is a problem. We are not responsible and we are not fair with Africa, the world in general, because we put all the waste there. And this is not green steps forward. Keep in mind that we must keep in balance digital transformation and green technologies. Otherwise, we create more problems to sustainability or to the specific areas in the world than we solve the problems. So let's see now some case studies. We are proud about that. We are proud to show some case studies. We have some smart cities. You in Asia, you have Singapore, for example. We in Europe, we have Copenhagen. What can they do there? So cities like Singapore and Copenhagen use sensors networks and predictive analytics to optimize traffic, to reduce emission and to manage waste. This is for sure. You know what happens in many cities in Asia. We know what happened in many cities in Europe. So Singapore's smart water system, as I can study, reduces leakage to just 5%, one of the lowest rates globally. Let's see what happens about smart manufacturing. Industry 4.0 systems enable factories to align production with real-time energy prices, predictive maintenance, and waste minimization. So in smart production, to have waste minimization is very important. But as I told you before, we don't have yet minimize of waste. And this waste is not stay in Europe or in America or in Asia. Unfortunately, it goes to Africa. And this is the problem we cause. So some plants, some factories have reduced emission up to 40% through digital-driven process improvements. Let's move to agriculture and food security. Precision agriculture uses satellite, drones, AI. Why? To optimize integration, fertilization, and pest control. This is something we have to think and to rethink, because farmers can produce more food with fewer inputs. Very interesting and very useful. And this will protect land and water resources. So these are not isolated breakthroughs. No, we have to combine everything to achieve sustainability. They are easily indicators of what becomes possible when digital and green technologies work together. So we need green technology and smart and digital transformation to work together. This is the message up to now. They are not separate. And of course, as you see, they can produce, they can assist to smart cities, to smart manufacturing, to agriculture and food security, among others. But we have many hurdles. We have barriers we must overcome. For all its promise, this transformation will not happen automatically. No, this transformation will not happen automatically. And this combination of digital transformation and green technologies to enhance sustainability, they still face problems. They still face barriers, they still face hurdles. First of all, we start with skills and talent gaps. There are several challenges, but here we will name a few, just the red one here. So skills and talent gaps.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Professor.
Sorry?
I'm sorry to interrupt. You have 2 minutes left.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we must handle the barriers, which are skill and talent gaps established by aging infrastructure, fragmented data systems, isolated systems, complex regulatory frameworks, financing innovation, and the leadership. The leadership, we need the leadership because they have to guide us how we will combine and how we use it. So the vision of the future is building to produce more energy than they consume, the power grids dynamic, balanced renewable in real time, factories to operate in near zero waste, cities are clean, connected and human-centered, transportation is electric, efficient and seamless, Products never become waste, they simply re-enter the economy, and data informs every environmental decision. To conclude, we have the tools, we have the knowledge, and we have the responsibility. We need responsibility. But what lessons can Europe and Asia learn out of this? Both regions are experiencing significant transition. They face increasing energy demands, climate risk, and economic challenges. They are making substantial investment in digital innovation and sustainability. And the intention is to examine these differences, not to assess relative progress, but to identify opportunities for mutual learning, to be complementary, and to collective acceleration of local progress. So, two regions, one vision. We need clean, secure, and affordable energy, smart, efficient, and connected cities, sustainable manufacturing and mobility, digital innovation as a driver for resilience and growth. I will go a little bit fast. I saw here Europe is focused on robust regulatory frameworks. On the other side, Asia is rapid urbanization and population growth. What are the differences, the speed and the different strengths? In Europe, strength is coordination and standards. In Europe, we have robust data protection frameworks such as GDPR. In Asia, you have strength in scale and adoption. As Asia is home to some of the fastest digital adopters in the world, like digital payments, like smart cities, like e-commerce, like rapid rollout in 5G infrastructure. So, Europe offers organizational structure. Asia contributes dynamic momentum. And of course, in combination, they can establish globally robust digital ecosystems. So, Europe at the forefront of low carbon policy and strategy, Asia implementing transformative change at massive scale, and Asia faced challenges of scale. Europe excels in specialization. Both elements are circular, are critical in achieving global success. We need cooperation. So, combining smart cities and infrastructure, combining smart cities like in Europe and Asia, mobility, energy, we have to move on. And what Asia can learn from Europe? In Europe, we have consistent sustainability regulation and standards. We enhance across cross-border collaboration on energy and data, and many others. What Europe can learn from Asia? We can learn that you have rapid implementation and pilot deployment, scaling digital services to millions at speed, and moreover. So, we have a global call for collaboration. Asia and Europe must stress on to harmonize standards for AI, Internet of Things, and digital governance, to collaborative research programs in clean energy and green AI, to cross-regional financing platforms for sustainable technology, to join smart cities initiatives, and to enhance supply chain partnership for batteries, hydrogen, and semiconductors. So, conclusion. 2 continents, 1 future, 1 shared future. We have to run towards a world that is smarter, more sustainable, and resilient. Asia delivers scale. Europe delivers structure. Asia drives speed. Europe drives standards. Asia innovates under pressure. Europe innovates with precision. And this is my fast presentation. Sorry for this. This is my references, indicative reference. And thank you very much for your attendance and the participation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Dimitrios Maditinos, for your presentations. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's turn to the last speaker. So please welcome Professor Dr. Naim Demirel from Recep Tayyip Erdogan University, Turkey. Professor Demirel, time is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for inviting me to such a wonderful meeting. I greet you all from Giresun, my hometown, the green and clean city of the Black City area. I am Dean of the Faculty of Law, Recep Tayyip Erdoğan University. So my topic, my presentation topic is achieving UN Sustainable Development Goals at Recep Tayyip Erdoğan University recent studies after the enforcement of the guideline on the coordinatorship of social contribution and sustainability. So, country leaders who came together at the Sustainable Development Summit of the United Nations held in New York on September 25, 2015, accepted the Sustainable Development Goals, which consist of 17 goals and 169 targets to eradicate poverty in all its dimensions and to ensure the common welfare and humanity by 2030. The declared Sustainable Development Goals are a global call to action for ending poverty, protecting the environment, taking measures against the climate crisis, for equitable sharing of prosperity and ensuring peace. The goal is to offer a better and livable world for humanity and future generations. Higher education institutions, which play a critical role in the development of the countries and increasing their welfare, have an important role as one of the stakeholders that contribute to achieving sustainable development goals. It is important that universities, which are almost like a small city with their large size and populations, adopt the principle of being a sustainable university that works to minimize the negative effects arising from environmental, social, and economic aspects, whilst carrying out their own activities, offering a livable green campus to its stakeholders, and leading the society in sustainability. A crucial stride was made with the establishment of the coordinatorship of social contribution and sustainability at Recep Tayyip Erdoğan University in achieving the Sustainable Development Goal. The coordinatorship was constructed with the guidelines on the coordinatorship of social contribution and sustainability, which entered into force on 22 November 2023. According to the guidelines, the coordinatorship is responsible for carrying out the necessary work for the efficient implementation of social contribution and sustainability activities at the university. The coordinatorship is also tasked with the following duties. First, contribute to works of updating and improving the university policies, strategies, and objectives related to social contribution and sustainability, taking into account the needs of the university partners. I hope you guys hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I got some information. Okay. Second, to contribute to the coordination of works carried out or planned within the university departments in the context of social contribution and sustainability. Third, to develop and promote projects based on the principle of social contribution and sustainability. Fourth, to encourage projects, applications, and theory-based courses on the theme of the social contribution and sustainability, and to provide consultancy on the preparation of modules at undergraduate and graduate levels. In satisfying the aforementioned duties, the coordinatorship has taken a significant number of steps since its establishment. One of such steps is the adoption of the particular module of AVESIS, which is the Research Information System of Recep Tayyip Erdogan University. This module is aimed at increasing the impact of researchers' contribution within the scope of the Sustainable Development Goals by ensuring that publications, projects, theses, and similar activity are visible at the international level. The module now enables every visitor to comprehend how many activities have been carried out in the achievement of the goals at the university. It is worth noting at this juncture that such activities are categorized into the following classes: publications, modules, theses, congress and symposium participations, projects, journal duties, awards, organized event, intellectual properties, visual activities, scientific data, scientific membership, art activities, and research groups and units. A large number of records are available for each sustainable development goal. Quality education, the first goal, includes the following records. There are 2,171 publications, 980 modules, 261 theses, 261 congress and symposium participations, 49 projects, 65 journal duties, 17 awards, 117 organized events, 2 intellectual properties, 21 visual activities, 1 scientific data, 22 scientific membership, and 10 art activities. Good health and well-being, the second goal, involves the record below. There are 4,315 publications, 204 modules, 234 theses, 195 congress and symposium participations, 84 projects, 18 journal duties, 25 awards, 46 organized events, 16 intelligent properties, 6 visual activities, 1 scientific data, 34 scientific membership, and 1 art activities. Life and hand, the third goal, includes the following records. There are 976 publications, 67 modules, 80 theses, 81 congress and symposium participations, 68 projects, 15 journal duties, 2 awards, 12 organized events, 2 intelligent properties, 4 visual activities, 5 scientific data, 4 scientific membership, and 1 art activities. Partnership for the goals. The fourth goal involves the records below. There are 479 publications, 61 mutuals, 32 theses, 69 congress and symposium participations, 14 projects, 14 journal duties, 8 awards, 35 organized events, 1 intelligent properties, 4 visual activities, 1 scientific data, 8 scientific membership, and 3 art activities. Climate action, the 5th goal, includes the following records. There are 691 publications, 82 mutuals, 46 theses, 67 congress and symposium participations, 29 projects, 13 journal duties, 4 awards, 13 organized events, 2 intelligent properties, 2 visual activities, and 2 scientific membership. It's also likely to disclose numerous other records relevant of the pertaining to the other sustainable development goals, namely life below water, peace, justice, and strong institutions, responsible consumption and production, zero hunger, reduced inequalities, decent work and economic growth, industrial innovation and infrastructure, sustainable cities and communities, no poverty, gender equality, affordable and clean energy, clean water, and sanitation. It's also important to note that visitors are be able to scrutinize each segment of the module and disclose. If available, all documents that have been incorporated into the module. It is, for instance, possible for visitors to read various articles touching upon the Sustainable Development Goals. It is likely for the universities to construct a similar module, enabling us to follow every advancement in the achievement of the goal. Establishing a coordinatorship akin to that already founded at Recep Tayyip Erdogan University is a dramatic alternative worth of the taking into account by policymakers. This world also empower all potential actors to determine any weak muscle that should be strengthened in the achievement of the goals at the universal level. Many thanks for your patience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Naim Dembirel, for your presentations. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived to the end of the session, which is the Q&A sessions. So, we still have 15 minutes, time slot to do the Q&A sessions. So, as I mentioned previously, please raise your hand and introduce yourself, and then let us know who's going, you are going to ask to it. Okay, so from the right side, from my right side, so the ladies on the brown veil, and then let's make the opportunity equal, so one from the ladies and the other from the gentleman. So the gentleman with glasses over there. Yeah, so and then ladies first, yeah. So for this first term, I will give the opportunity to persons only. Maybe after this, if we still have time, I will give the opportunity to the others. Please. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.
Thank you very much. Before today, I'm very happy that I can see and meet the great presentation from many countries like Turkey, Greece, Malaysia, etc. Maybe pardon, before I wanna ask you one question. but the question is not the same with the topic this conference. As we know that today is many cases of bullying and sexual harassment in educational institution and university. But in Indonesia, we have authority institution for handle these cases like National Commission on Violence, Komnas HAM dan Perempuan, kemudian Against Women and Children, KPAI, yeah, the Indonesian Child Protection Commission, KPAI, and the Rehabilitation Renakta in the police force. And one month ago, the police force in Polda Metro Jaya have made the digital system to handle these cases. I want to ask you, I would like to which institution in your country, can you tell us the institution in the country to handle these cases, bullying and sexual harassment? If we one day in the future maybe visit your country, Amin, and we haven't these cases to us, we know how we can report it. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah. So is it the questions regarding bullying and something like that, and how to handle that through digital services, something like that? Who is the question for? All the speaker or? Okay. So I will give you the opportunity, but after the next questions, Bapak, will you? Yes, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bapak Chancellor, Ibu Rektor, and all distinguished speaker. Actually, my question is addressed to only two of you. Yeah, one is to Pak Yudi and one to Prof. Hilal. So the first to Prof. Hilal, your presentation about the development or revamping of the abandoned house is quite interesting. So if I may ask, make some note, actually the problem is, one, is due to the legal status of the project is not clear. Yeah? One. Number two, there are several issues on the land title happen in Malaysia. And number three, there is a limited of the authority of government to involve on this project. So from this all problem, I would like to raise some solution. Perhaps you agree or not agree, you may mention then to us. The solution I raise here, one is the government should have like a legal certainty on the land right, especially to expedite the statutory of the land right. Yeah, that is one. And secondly, government should have like an initiative, innovative financing mechanism to to finance the housing. Like for example, use the Islamic bank concept, like use the murabaha or musyarakah, etc. And three, provide integrated institutional governance. Yeah. And last, number four is to build a strong consumer protection and transparency. Secondly, to Pak Yudi, you have mentioned all about the sea and also the utility of the sea, but you still do not mention about the problem that we have at the moment. The problem that the Indonesia government have, for example, like, may I see my notes? Yeah, we have a problem on the sea. One is about the regulation. Yeah. Regulation and of course the law enforcement, in this case the maritime law enforcement. We still have problem on that, especially overlapping and the implementation of the applied regulation. Secondly, we also have the problem of the integrated of institutional government. Ya. Ini tata kelola, Pak. Ya. We still have a problem on tata kelola of laut. Yeah. And 3, of course, financing problem. And number 4, we still have like an expert human resource to handle, to utilize the sea. And of course, we also still have a geopolitics at international law. Yeah, we still have a problem with Malaysia on the Anbalak. Yeah. Previously we have problem in Malaysia on Sepadan and Nikita. So I would like to ask you from all of this note, what is the applied solution for Indonesia government to maximize the maritime resource? But in case we still prioritizing the SDGs concept. Thank you.
Terima kasih. Thank you for the questions. So as Professor Kansol said, the first question is going to be answered by Bapak. Please, the committee, can we provide the microphone?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Regarding the first question on bully, bully, is it bully or other criminal acts? In Malaysia, actually there is apps, special apps, where public can install the app. They call it VCS. So the public, if they happen to face with criminal acts, or for example, they are on holiday, they can put information into the apps, informing to the police to take immediate action. They can go by two ways. One way is by officially report to the police report. Police report. Secondly, they can fill up. They can install the apps, VCS apps. They fill up every information together with all the photos. The police require photos. You have to take the photos to make sure that there is no false report. But the problem in Malaysia, not many people knows about this application, and even if they know, they don't use the apps. They don't install the apps. But there is a way to contact with the police regarding any criminal acts, asking the police, requesting to police to look after your housing area in case you are, holiday during Idul Fitri, 1 week, you went back to your village, mudik. So these apps can be used to inform to the police to take certain legal action or certain enforcement. Meaning that they have to go wandering around the area to check the security and safety of the area. And even you can report directly to the police using the VPS apps in the Google. Yes, apps. That is Malaysia. Regarding the gentleman asking on abandoned housing project, according to my research, out of 100 housing project, 2 abandoned. Meaning 2% abandoned housing project, involving abandoned project. So far, the government has not adopted full bill and sell, meaning that the developer must complete the housing project with certificate of fitness before selling to the public. This full bill and sell has not yet adopted in Malaysia. That's the best way how to prevent abandonment. I think in Indonesia also there's abandoned housing project. In I think mistaken, even in Bogor also abandoned housing project, abandoned construction, terminated, incomplete housing construction. So the best system is full bill and sell. The developer has to build the housing unit first, completed with CF, certificate of fitness for occupation, CF, then sell it to the public. That's the best. That's the best method. What Malaysia does now is they are using full sell and build. They sell the property not completed. They are selling a property not yet completed and getting money progressively from the public purchaser. That money is to build up the unit. But what happened in the middle of the construction, if the developer become bankrupt, insolvent, unable to complete the project, the housing unit can be abandoned and stopped. Who are the victims? The purchaser. Because the developer has no more money, not enough money to complete the project. That happened in Malaysia. So that is one of the problem in Malaysia. There is suggestion for the government to adopt full build and sell. Build first completely, then sell to the public. That's the best. But I think the reason is because of pressure from the investor. Pressure from the investor, first. Secondly, is political interest. Because the developer is the capitalist. They want easy way. They want easy way how to make money. Use, sell, and build. They get license, even without enough investment, they are using public money, they can become rich. But out of 100 projects, 2 abandoned. This is statistic. So regarding Islamic banking, also they are, in my opinion, they are practicing horror when involve abandoned housing project. Horror al-fahish, meaning that in Islam, the subject matter must exist before you sell. If the subject matter does not exist in relation to housing, the housing unit must be completed before you sell to the public, before the public can get the housing unit and with the title. If suddenly the project abandoned, the housing unit cannot be delivered to the purchaser. That is against Islam. That is the practice of Islamic bank in Malaysia. But I tell to the Sharia advisor, this is wrong. Again, there are two reasons. One, the investor pressure. Secondly, the Basel Accord pressure, international banking community pressure. In Islam, they use mudharabah, musyarakah, mutanakisah, musyarakah concept. Resharing. Not through like baik bisaman ajil or tawaruk, they just get money and markup, murabahah. Murabahah. So that is my opinion. That's my opinion. So the best thing is use full build and sell. Build first completely with CF, certificate of fitness for occupation, then sell to the public. The public purchaser will be protected. Islamic bank has to change the method. They have to involve only in full build and sell property. Complete first, then sell to the public. Not sell first, complete later. That can involve horror transaction, uncertainty, fraudulent. And I think that is not Islamic. Second thing is to have an insurance system. Insurance system. So the developer should have insurance. So in the event that the housing project become abandoned, stop, the construction becomes stopped, the insurance coverage can be used to complete the remaining incomplete part of the housing unit. That is not implemented. That is not being implemented. There should be insurance coverage. Again, I think, this is my opinion, pressure from the investor. And second, because of the international Basel Accord. When you learn banking, you know, international economic law, Basel Accord. But so far, out of 10, 2 abandoned. So my advice to the public, when you want to buy houses from developer, buy a complete one. Buy a completed one with certificate of fitness for occupation. Maybe it's higher, maybe 50,000 ringgit, but you don't have any headache, no problem, because the houses is fully completed. Okay, by a completed housing unit. Secondly, you have to check who is the developer. Is the developer strong developer or not? If the developer is small developer, don't buy. Because even though the name is very beautiful, the brochure is very beautiful, but if the developer is not renowned, unknown, new, small, don't buy. Because if they are insolvent or having inadequate money, they cannot complete the project. Buy from big developer, from Sime Dabi or UDA, Perda, big developer or government developer, big company like SPNB, Syarikat Perumahan Negara, big company. That is my advice. I think that could answer your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Pak Yudi, please.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Pak. Aku lupa malah namanya. Abang. Om Togar, Masya Allah, in the same law of the sea. Thank you very much for enrichment my presentation about the problem of the governance. I talk about the true problem atau the root of the problem is too sectoral. The regulation is too sectoral. If we talk about tata ruang pesisir, we have the Act number 26 years 2007, if I'm not wrong. This is and also 27. This is too sectoral. When the people or when the other sector didn't use this number of act as their regulation. It's only for marine affair. Because, but if you talk about the coastal and marine, it should be not only for one sector, but for the whole sector. That is the first. For the second, financial is debatable. Because the problem is, you mentioned that is financial. If you talk about land grabbing, ocean grabbing, like what Pak Councillor said before, this is the reclamation. This is only for the people who have the money. If we talk about the peak, there's a lot of people not come from our side. This is only for the rich people that can just spend the money for buying the land. Even from the Grand Siwal, there is to man-made island. This also come from other beneficial person that rich than the others. This means the demand for the reclamation is there. The problem is, if we talk about the losses, it's not only in situ. It's not only in the local reclamation. If we want to gather the material for the reclamation itself, it's come from the other area. In the other area, we cannot measure the losses. That's the problem. That's why my suggestion is using extended cost benefit analysis to compare, to internalizing the price of the cost, not only the real cost, but also incremental losses into the causes. So the benefit itself is not bigger than now, something like that. You can imagine the 1 meter land in the reclamation is about 30 million rupiah per meter persegi. But the main production for the land is huge because they only using the financial record, the financial feasibility, not economical feasibility. If we talk about the economic feasibility, so we have to internalizing the external costs because of the losses of the marine resources in the other area. That's the second. The other is related with the, I mentioned before, we have collaborative monitoring, surveillance, and controlling. Not only for the people, we using pentahelic, not only the government itself, but also require the institutes, university, something like that, media, like publication, something like that, and also the people. We can use fishermen as the control for the marine, and also from the private itself. So if we combine collaborative MSC, monitoring, surveillance, and controlling, the problem of our unequitable will be finished. And also the last is ecosystem-based management should be what we call panglima, would be the top priority to be managed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yudi, for your answer. So we still have very limited time. However, if someone or Bapak will ask questions, yes, please. Okay. Yes, Professor Martin.
Yeah, I want to ask my question for Professor Abdul Karim. Sometimes AI look like human. They can discuss with us with love, also with sadness. So how to make a program like that? Yeah, sometimes I talk to my ChatGPT with the human touch, and then they also answer by human. One time I told them, "Are you actually human or machine?" They said, "Actually we are machine, but how to get my heart actually? Sometimes they can accept my in deep heart what we are talking about. So what's the program that's matter, Professor? Yeah. Thank you."
Thank you, Prof. Martin. So, I actually, to be honest, I didn't hear the question very well, but from my colleague here mentioned about the using of ChatGPT, correct? And how to know the answer, if it is like acceptable or not acceptable. Is this what you?
Sometimes they look like a human, not only machine, and can touch our deep heart actually. What kind of problem? What kind of program that ChatGPT? They can touch our heart and our mind. Actually, I never talk in my deep heart actually, and then they know what I mean in my heart. Yes.
Okay. So if we have some issue, okay, or we have some question or concern, right? So if you ask someone to, for example, help you to answer, okay, and for example, if you rely on AI, okay, generated text in general, whether it's ChatGPT or other things, okay? The main important point here, okay, if you feel that actually the response, okay, is not going to be what you expect, okay, in terms of the human feeling, all right, then actually in this case you need definitely to consider this, but not to take it as it is, okay? So that means actually sometimes if we talk about the general problem, okay, or engineering problem, this is the same applied, all right? So many times, for example, I also use, of course, ChatGPT or Gemini or other AI-generated software. But as I mentioned here, that the judgment, okay, or the cross-checking of the information is very important, right? And I myself face many issues with using this. But at the end of the day, actually, I realized that, and unfortunately, this also some of our colleagues and even students, actually, they do not always check, okay, what the response is given, okay, whether it actually meets what they expect, because when I have something to ask, I expect something, okay, regarding this concern or my question. But if I feel that it is not exactly what I expect, okay, not necessarily to be contradicting what I mean, what I expect, but most importantly, I want actually to, as I mentioned, to cross-checking, and also the knowledge we have should not be replaced by the knowledge given by the AI generated software, right? So at the end of the day, as I mentioned in my presentation, that many people actually have concern whether AI will take the job, okay? Means after some year, okay, with really very advanced and smart software, some people, they have concern that they will not find job in the future. But again, I repeat, who will decide, okay, about the final decision of the response? Okay, it's our judgment. Okay, I will accept or don't accept, right? And at the same time, as I mentioned here, it all depends on what I give and what expect to have. Okay, so I'm not sure whether I answer your question correctly. Okay, fully, Prof. Martin. Maybe we can take offline discussion. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Obaidi, for your answers. So, ladies and gentlemen, Bapak Ibu, and all the attendees, participants, and distinguished presenters, we've arrived to the end of the sessions. Before I close and hand over the session to the MC, I would like to remind you or refresh your memory about all the topic that has been presented. And we have talked about land law and then the issue of housing and how to get affordable and safe house. And then we also have talked about AI and green transformation and how this new technology make our life better, effective and efficient. We also have talked about marine and coastal ecosystem, something that we have abundance in Indonesia. We have the potential, but we haven't managed it efficiently and correctly. We also have talked about biomass and biofuel, where we can use unused trash or rubbish to make our carbon's pollution less and less. And the last one, we also talked about green technology. So it all comes to, if I may make a conclusion, it comes to how to effectively, efficiently, and innovatively transform our life. So we hope you enjoy and get benefit from these sessions. So to close this session, I would like to you all give a round of applause to all the speakers. Thank you very much for your speech, and we are very grateful for your presence here. So without further ado, I would like to hand over the session to the MC. Thank you very much. Wallahu yaqulul haq wa huwa yahdi sabil. Sekian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you very much for the excellent presentation and discussion of the moderator and our keynote speakers. The next is the presentation of certificate and souvenirs. We kindly invite the Chancellor and Rector Universitas Juanda. We kindly invite Prof. Chancellor and Ibu Rektor Universitas Juanda to hand over the souvenir to our keynote speakers. We also invite Professor Abdul Karim and Prof. Hilal and Associate Professor Dr. Yudi to come to the stage to hand over the souvenir. Okay, before we come to photo session, we still have one online keynote speaker from Demetrius. The next certificate is for Professor Demetrius Meditrius from the University of Therese Grace. Thank you very much, bros, for your insightful today. Thank you very much. See you next year. Okay, on behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to express our deepest appreciation to all distinguished plenary speakers for their insightful experience and presentation, as well as the moderator for guiding the session excellently. We will now have the break until 1:15 p.m. and the parallel session will begin promptly afterward. Don't forget to check your information about the parallel session on bulletin board outside. We kindly invite all participants to return on time and proceed their assigned rooms or Zoom like as scheduled. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.